Hey guys, what's going on? Coming at you with a Tuesday evening video. Sorry if I pause a little bit here. I just wanted to, I'm doing a little bit of driving here, but I just wanted to make a video on basically the current market conditions and where I think the market's going in the next week, or let's just say month, call it. So obviously a lot of big companies start reporting coming later this week, and then we get like the meats and potatoes of it next week and the following week. So I personally think the hardware plays, specifically I'm going to talk about AMD here. I think they're going to blow numbers off the top. Goldman just raised their price target on AMD to $650 a share, which in my opinion is still light. I think AMD is going to go over that by the time they report. And if they don't, they're going to go over that after they report, like the next day. That's my personal opinion. So if you're a trader or something like that, it might be something you want to look into. Not that I trade, I do long-term invest, but that is something that I have a fully built position on. So yeah, so that's a good one. Also, I think that Wall Street's finally catching on to the SaaS plays. They've been completely bagging on the main SaaS plays like Adobe, Intuit, Salesforce, ServiceNow. So in my opinion, I think the SaaS plays are really the plays right now. So I've been actively building ServiceNow and Salesforce for the past, I'd say almost a year at this point. They are both fully built out in my portfolio. So, I mean, it's basically been flat or down at this point since I've been dollar cost averaging down for Salesforce. ServiceNow's up a little bit. But yeah, so that's those are two I'd look into. Obviously, do your own research, run your own projections, but those two in particular, I think are going to have a really nice run once the CapEx spend stops from the, you know, the Microsofts, the Googles, the Metas, and all that. Once that CapEx spend chills out, I think people are going to look for other places instead of hardware and, you know, chips and all that stuff. They're going to find opportunities to move the money, and I think the SaaS plays are really going to be where a lot of the people are going to move their money. So I just get in usually a little early, and what I do is, you know, as long as the fundamentals don't change as far as like the businesses, it, you know, I don't know if it's going to move this week, next week, today, 3 months, 9 months from now, but I do know that's where the trend is going. So usually what I do is I just build them up until they're fully weighted. To me, what fully weighted is in my portfolio. I hold right around 20 stocks, I think a little under. But fully weighted to me is anywhere from 5 to 10% of my portfolio. And then from there, I let it run, do its thing. And then when, you know, the plays get overvalued or too big of a weight, or if I need to rebalance for whatever reason, I'll do that. So, but yeah, so I usually like building them up, and I obviously want the stocks to go down because that means the valuations get even cheaper. You make more in the long run as a long-term investor. So that's something that I think there's a lot of opportunity at right now. Just I would really, you know, if you haven't looked into it, particularly Salesforce, which is a little more conservative, and ServiceNow is a little more risky, but I do think both of them are going to win long term. Alex Karp and Jensen, and you know, Alex Karp of Palantir, Jensen of NVIDIA, a lot of these guys have publicly, you know, talked about how the market has SaaS plays wrong and they're here for the future. And you know, people don't understand, like, these businesses have decades and decades and decades of information of these companies, and you're not just going to roll over, leave them, and then develop your own thing with AI. Like, you're just not going to do that. Like, it's too much of a risk for a business to take, especially a large one. So, what majority of their customers are large. So, like, Wall Street's just being too emotional and not really thinking things through. They're being too in the moment, too literal with AI, which, as a retail investor, brings massive opportunity. And these are the situations that give you once in a decade or once in multi-year opportunities to actually get a good evaluation on some of these monster, like, great companies. So that's kind of my thoughts. I do appreciate all the subs I got from my last video. I think that was like the most I got in a while. I've just been a little busy. So yeah, if you guys like this content, and I'll make a video if I purchase anything this week. I probably will do some buys this week, but if you do like this content and do want to know what I want to buy, make sure you subscribe. till next time, later.